Happy Wednesday! I hope you're having a fantastic Wednesday, a fantastic week. I've been having a few conversations with different friends about life and work and happiness and stress and what we should be doing versus what we feel we want to do. And sometimes we get that all mixed up as well. Like we feel like we want to do certain things, but yet it causes a lot of stress or anxiety in our lives. And then, we have to be able to evaluate what exactly it is that we're doing. And is it worth doing that thing if it is causing us so much stress and anxiety? And in these conversations, it usually revolves around work and our career and our profession and our business. And it's really ironic considering the fact that we are working and having a career or building a business or striving for success for happiness, like for the reason of happiness, right? I mean, that's why we're all working hard, right? That's why we pursue our careers. That's why we build businesses, because we're trying to, make good money, and then we want to be successful because it leads to a better life, a better lifestyle, and that potentially makes us happy, right? I mean, I want to say this at the beginning because I think it's really important for all of us to really know what our real objective in life is. Like, why do you want to have a relationship? Why do you want to have a business? Why are you working in a company that you're working in? Why are you stressed sometimes, right? We're doing all that for the reason of being able to live a good life, for the reason of being able to live a better life. And it's so ironic that in the process of trying to live that good life or that happy life, we try to earn that happiness, or we try to move towards the happiness with stress and anxiety. We strive for success because of what? Because we want to be happy, right? But in the pursuit of the success, in the striving for the success, we pile on that stress and anxiety in a way that we don't even question it. Like, it's normal. Like, it's really normal to be stressed. It's really normal to be anxious. It's part and parcel of success, of our career, to build a successful career or successful business is par for the course, that we will, wake up anxious. Sometimes we can't sleep because we're stressed, and we kind of accept that as the norm. And I'm not saying that stress or anxiety is abnormal. What I'm trying to say here is that our perspective towards stress and anxiety and worries and everything else that comes with the territory of trying to be successful, all of those pressures, I think that we see as normal, maybe they don't have to be such a welcomed part of our life. And I say this because when we are pursuing the success, or when we're doing our work, or we're trying to, climb the corporate ladder, or you're trying to, build a successful business, it almost seems like everything is justified. Like, if I don't have dinner with my family, it's justified. If I don't have time for myself, it's justified. If I'm impatient or easily upset and frustrated because I don't have enough sleep, that's justified. And if even when you are kind of successful, but you're still worried about your career, your business, because you're not sure, how much money you're going to be making in the future, or whether the competition is going to come and crush you. And so that aspect of it maybe keeps you up at night. That part of it becomes like a song that we get used to hearing, and so therefore we feel that it's par for the course of having a successful career. We feel like the ticket or the way to be happy is to build the successful career, the successful business. And so therefore we kind of like in our mind follow the script of, oh, it's normal, you know, to be constantly stressed. It's normal to be frustrated and impatient, and it's normal to not have time for anybody else. It's normal to not have time for myself also. It's normal to not be able to sleep because I'm anxious, you know, because I'm on this path, and this path comes with all these things, and that's normal. And today I want to talk about this and maybe even question this, because the conversations that I've been having with my friends lately is very interesting. Maybe because of COVID-19 and the pandemic, and it makes us question and look at our mortality, and because, you know, we have, you know, good and young people like the Black Panther star Chadwick, you know, passing away from colon cancer, or, you know, maybe it just makes us all look at our life a little bit more, and that's why the conversations revolve around that a bit more, especially like in my circle of friends. And so because I'm talking about this with my friends and we're all discussing this, I thought I want to share this with you as well and see what you think and hear what you are going through. Like Megan here says, I teach first grade online and I feel stressed. Oh, is it because of the technology? And also that you have to get used to teaching online? Or is it because first grade and the kids, it's hard for them to pay attention because it's online? Like what is stressing you out? I can't imagine that it's going to be easy. Honey here says, we just had an advanced teachers day in our preschool today. Never felt so loved and appreciated by parents and students. That's amazing. That's so awesome. Thanks for sharing. Virginia, hi, good morning from Denver. We all strive to live an enjoyable life day by day. That's fantastic, you know, and I really resonate with this as well. And what does that mean? Striving to live an enjoyable day, an enjoyable life day by day. Why change? Stressed and anxious now. Why are you feeling stressed and anxious? Do you know why? Hi Nurul, hi Abu Bakar, hi Jude, hi Tracy, Savannah, AB, Tar, Karen. Peter here says, gave up trying to get money and success, looking now for a position available as a mountain monk, but not many vacancies in that field. I think if you want, you can just go to a monastery. I don't think you need to wait for a vacancy. But just aside though, I think it's not so much about giving up trying to be successful or trying to make money. I think the conversations that I've had, interestingly, is about what is enough. So I think that, for example, if we're living on a poverty line, you know, where we have so many kids to take care of, and we're the sole breadwinner of the family, and I think that when it comes to those kind of instances, the survival instinct or the immediate need is to survive, right? So we're just working. We're working day and night. There's so many people who work a few jobs just to keep food on the table for their family. And in that position, there's not much time actually to think about, like, oh, you know, is this what I want to be doing? Am I successful? And there's no time to be comparing ourselves to other people. You know, there's no time to really feel the other kind of stress and anxiety. You know, it's if the stress is always on, like, you know, worrying about whether we have enough money to provide for our family, and it basically probably ends there, in a sense that we don't look at, oh, you know, is this what I want to do with my life? You know, there's no time for questions like these. But I feel like if we're above that poverty line and we're in a position where we are able to go to restaurants, or, you know, we're able to go watch a movie, you know, and pay for a coffee, you know, little luxuries like that. I mean, when it comes down to that, how much is enough, right? Because all of us have been taught since a young age to to be successful. I think going to school, I mean, you know, during the first day of school, even, you know, like we're asked about what do you want to be when you grow up? And I've realized as an adult, I mean, you don't really notice this as a child, but as an adult, I've realized that like my school education has been honestly preparing me to be successful in life, you know, career-wise, you know, everything, the exams, the mindset, what teachers talk about, like it's kind of the conditioning. I would even like go as far as saying brainwashing, but it is the conditioning of our school that when we graduate, we feel very compelled to strive for more and more and more, and we don't actually even realize this. And this is why, like, I think the conversations that I've been having with my friends lately about, are we living an enjoyable life at the moment? Which means, are we truly flowing with life? Are we doing exactly what we want to do? Even like, are we feeling like we have no choice? Or are we feeling like, you know, we should be doing more? And if our career or business doesn't work out, how do we feel about that? And what's interesting is like one of my best friends, she has this amazing skincare brand. And because she's an entrepreneur and because there is a pandemic, she's basically in the States and quarantined a lot of the time. So she's not really going out and seeing people. And she just got married. And so, you know, she's saying that like sometimes she feels like she should be working. Like at home, she should be working, right? But sometimes she just wants to read a book or spend time with the husband. But she feels like she should be working because if she doesn't work, then the business doesn't grow. Right? So it's hard when you're your own boss to kind of know when to stop working, because if you stop working, then the business basically stops growing. And this is an interesting discussion and conversation because growth is such a huge part of what we feel we need to do in our career, in our business. We focus a lot on growing professionally in terms of making more money and being more successful, whatever that may mean to you. But I was like, you know, we were talking about this and I was asking her, you know, if the business is able to make a decent amount of money where it's not really growing in the traditional sense of like, oh, you know, you're charting how many percentage growth every year, you know, revenue keeps coming in, but it's growing at a steady state and slow and steady, and you're able to manage the finances where it's not at whether you have to close your business down or you know, you can't pay people, you know, and she's in a place where she's really good with that. Like she's got that managed. It's just a matter of just growing the business and making more sales. And so I said, you know, what if till the day you die, as you grow old, your business remains like that you're able to do what you love, you're able to pay for everything and make some money on top of that, and you're able to provide for yourself, you're able to live, you know, and eat what you want, and you're able to live in your current apartment, and you're able to, like, you know, have a decent lifestyle. In a sense that you can continue enjoying what you're enjoying right now. Maybe you wouldn't be able to, you know, go on a yacht or enjoy, you know, like making 500 million in revenue in 10 years time. Would you be okay with that? You know, what's wrong with being where we are and feeling like that's enough? Why is it that we feel like we've got to have more? Be more successful, have more money. Like having the $500 revenue every year, 500 million. When I said 500 in my head, it's like million, you know, $500 million in revenue every year. I mean, it sounds fantastic, right? Or being valued at that amount for a company. I mean, it sounds freaking fantastic. But to make that kind of money, it comes at a cost as well. You know, like just listening to podcasts and experiences of businesses who achieve the kind of success, I love hearing their passion and the drive, and then you hear about the anxiety and the stress, and you really think about what you value in life. And so I guess today's live chat is really about us discovering and talking about what we truly value in our lives, and whether the way we're living our lives right now is bringing us down that trajectory. What is your goal in life? Like, what is your objective in life? And is it bringing you down that trajectory? Or is your goal, like, objective is to be happy, but everything else that you're doing, which you think is in the pursuit of that happiness, is actually causing a lot of stress and anxiety. And so in order to be happy, you're welcoming in stress and anxiety currently so that you can meet the goal of being happy. Doesn't that sound ridiculous? Right? Like, to be happy is to be happy right now, which means being contented and at peace with many, 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 many things in our life. I'm not saying be lazy, don't have ambitions, don't work. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, don't welcome in stress and anxiety in your life. Like, it's part of the course. It's part of the course of, like, making a business or living a beautiful life. Like, in pursuit of that fantastic lifestyle. What kind of life are we living right now? And why do we want the fantastic lifestyle anyway? It's to be happy, right? We want that holiday, we want, the beautiful house, the clothes, go to beautiful restaurants and all that kind of stuff. We want all of that. Why? Because it makes us feel happy, right? It gives us happiness. And I think that because it's so easy to confuse and like for us human beings, it's so easy to confuse and mistake elation and pleasure and excitement and satisfaction and the egotistic thrill for happiness, that we think we're happy, and then we get to a point where we're still having all this excitement and thrills, but they're no longer that thrilling. They no longer make us happy, and then we're like, oh, okay, so what's worth it? Like, why am I doing all these things for? Like, why? Like, when we talk about growth, why are we not talking about growing in terms of contentment? Why are we not talking about growing in terms of being happy with what we already have? Why is it that we are constantly pursuing and looking for growth in terms of career and lifestyle and business? And that becomes the normal narrative and script of our life. Because when you really think about it, like I was saying at the start of this live chat, like, what's the objective of building that empire? What's the objective of having like $500 million as a valuation for your company? Like, what is the practical aspect of that? Besides the fact that you get to enjoy, a lot of luxuries in life, which is fantastic too. And that can make you genuinely peaceful and contented and happy. However, logically, to be able to build a business like that and to be able to climb the corporate ladder like that, to make the kind of money, it's not free, like, it comes at a cost. And what is that cost? This is what I want to ask you guys, right? What is that cost? Do you have to give up time with your family? Do you have to give up time for yourself? Or do you welcome in anger and impatience, and that's what you're giving up? You're giving up your peace of mind. You're giving up your kindness, your compassion. You're giving up that part of yourself, that nurturing part of yourself that connects with people. And like, what is it? What is the cost to happiness? And what if I tell you, which this is what you already know anyway, but what if I tell you that there doesn't need to be a cost to your happiness, because you can be happy today, right now, for what you already have. Because the absolute truth is, even when you have more and you make more money and you get more success and you buy amazing and better things, it does not make your life any brighter or more valuable. What it does is it gives us a deeper sense of validation. And external validation it always feels fantastic, but whether or not that is happiness is something that we have to ask ourselves, right? At the end of the day, why is it so important for us to grow in wealth and power and lifestyle? And so we we welcome in impatience and stress and anxiety as the norm, like the ticket to be able to live the kind of life, the kind of good life, right? And we think that's normal. Like, why must we follow that narrative? Why can't we go down the other path where we're like, hey, so I'm working so hard, I'm working my butt off, I'm being impatient with my parents, I don't have time for myself, and I'm like, and I used to enjoy what I'm doing, but now I just feel really stressed, and I can't really sleep so much at night. Because I don't know what's bothering me, and I have no time to think about what's bothering me, but I got to do this. I got to do this because I've got to like make this successful. You know, I've got to get promoted. You know, I've got to make my business work. And so it's okay. It's okay that I'm not feeling happy right now. It's okay that I'm stressed right now. It's okay, because one day, I will be happy. But what guarantees do you have? Why? Why are we working so hard for that happiness when it's already something we can have right now? And of course, there's a practical aspect of money, right? Like, we all need money to survive. So I want to like bring this up, because how much money do we need to survive? Like in Malaysia, I see families with like 4 or 5 kids, and only one person works. The parent, either the mother or the father, works. That's it. And they don't make a lot of money, but they can bring the kids up. Like, my mom grew up with 10 siblings, and they were very, very poor, but they had food on the table, and they were able to go to school. And now they're grown up, and they all have lives of their own, and they're great. You know, so when we want to eat, like, why must we eat like the very, 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 very best kind of food? Like, does that make us very, 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 very much happier than just eating? Like, all of us, I think, at a lot of points in our life, make enough money to live a decent life where, you know, we can pay for a place to stay, we can feed ourselves, you know, we're able to support ourselves. But everything else is just nice to have, you know? Like, I love, you know, clothes, and I love my holidays, I love my food, I love makeup, you know, all these things cost money, right? It costs money. And so when I'm saying all of these things, like, I constantly look at myself and ask myself, you know, I want to be able to really give gratitude to what I can have, right? Whatever money that I have that I can enjoy or buy whatever I want to buy, great, fantastic. You know, I'm grateful for that, and that's fantastic. But I also ask myself, you know, Xandria, having more of these things, does it make you a more valuable person? Is your life so much brighter? You know, and honestly, it's always exciting, you know, to buy something new, to have something new, to, you know, to go on a holiday, to eat nice food or whatever it is. However, when I really ask myself, like, does it make my life any more significant? Am I just like more amazing because I have all these things and because I have this amazing lifestyle? No. What makes my life valuable and what makes my life amazing is this, you know, it's being present. It's fully acknowledging that I am alive, and every second that matters, I don't want to waste it. And when I say I don't want to waste it, it doesn't mean that I must be working all the time or I must be productive all the time. That's not what I mean. When I say I don't want to waste it, it means that I want to flow. You know, I want to do things, like even with work, you know, if I have to do something, I have to do something, and I want to be able to do it. Do you know what I mean? Like, instead of feeling like, oh, I have no choice, or I want to be doing something else, but I'm doing this instead, you know, and that to me is wasting my time on earth. Because why are we doing something that we don't want to do, but then complain about it because we have no choice but to do it? And I'm like, you know, if there's certain things where you have to do, like if you have a kid, you have to feed the child, and you're lazy to cook. I mean, you know, like, yeah, you know, we're human. Sometimes we just feel lazy to do something. However, we are also human, which means that we can also think about why we're doing that thing. And then instead of thinking like, I don't want to do this, I have no choice, I'm complaining and I'm thinking like, hey, you know what? I want to do this. This is something I choose to do. It's very different, right? And to be able to, like, every moment understand myself so much that I'm not triggered by people, and every time I am triggered, it's again an opportunity to understand myself better. And that's also, to me, living my life with joy, where I am not being controlled by somebody else just because you were rude to me, just because you said something mean, just because, you insulted me or whatever it is, just because you're being unreasonable. Am I really going to let that ruin even 1 second of my day? Why will I want to willingly give you my life? And it may sound dramatic, but every time you are upset with someone, you're giving them a piece of your life. Like the moment, the minutes that you spend upset, you're never able to get those minutes back again. You're gonna, each second we're going older. And growing older is a privilege already. The fact that you and I are here is already a privilege, because some people get sick and they die. I'm sure a lot of us have family members who have passed away when they're young. And so we know that, hey, also the fact that me and you were breathing and we're alive is already something freaking amazing, right? And so even if you live to 100 years old, it's not a lot of time. And so every time you are upset with your partner, every time you're upset with your kids, every time you're upset someone cuts into your lane when you're driving, every time you're upset because your colleague said something that you don't agree with, every time you're upset because a stranger does something you don't agree with, every time you're upset and you continue being upset, you really are giving the person a piece of your life. You're really giving away a piece of your life. And Cliff is asking, how do you cope with that? Cope with what? Anger, or the feeling of upsetness and impatience? And so what I feel is this, if you guys follow my live chats, my videos, you know that I constantly talk about how there are no bad emotions. Anger and frustration and impatience, they're all part of being human, right? We all have an ego. And so when it comes to being upset, being triggered, we can decide, do I want to continue being upset? And this is such an important question that every one of us have to ask ourselves, because you might be surprised with the answer. Instinctively we might say, of course I don't want to be upset lah, but it's the person being so unreasonable make me angry. Which means what? You think it's right for you to be upset, right? Which means what? Of course I don't want to be upset. Actually what? You want to be upset. We feel like being upset gives us some kind of significance, when in actual fact, it does not. How many times, I'm sure you've read this everywhere, and I've said this so many times, anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. Honestly, the only person we hurt is ourselves. And so I'm not saying that, hey, be a saint, never be upset. Come on, I get frustrated, I get annoyed, I get irritated, sometimes I get upset. I don't really remember the last time I got really angry, and I used to get angry really easily. But I think that with all this awareness of how I'm giving my life away, and it's not so much that I'm trying to defend myself, but I'm like, look, Xandria, I talk to myself all the time. So I'm like, look, Xandria, what is your objective in life, right? What's your objective? That's part of my happiness program in week 4 for a reason. That's the question I ask myself all the time. So what's my objective? My objective is I want to be happy always. Okay, how am I going to be happy always? It's, happiness. I can eat a lot of ice cream. I can go to the gym. I can go shopping. All these things makes me very happy. Go on holiday. No, but is that happiness, or is that the feeling of happiness? Oh, that's the feeling of happiness. Okay, so what is real happiness? Or real happiness is a lack of suffering. Okay, so what is a lack of suffering? Okay, what is suffering? Oh, suffering is when I'm not at peace, when I'm stressed and anxious, or when I'm really frustrated and sometimes I'm impatient, all of this has a little like, it doesn't feel peaceful, there's no like you're one with the world. And I'm sure all of you have felt like true peace at some point, right? Whether it's a fleeting kind of moment or whether you feel it often and you have peace often. I mean, either way, right? Like we all recognize when we're living that moment with joy. We recognize that feeling. And the feeling of anxiety and stress and impatience and anger, that's not that feeling. And so when I recognize that feeling within myself, I know that I am suffering. And so my next step would be to, okay, why do I want to continue to suffer? Now that I've recognized the suffering, I've identified why I'm feeling this way, how do I then let it go? And that's why happiness is a practice. And because I know you guys are going to ask, how? I would highly suggest you read my book, Be Happy Always. A lot of it, like chapter 4 is about letting go. And I also have my happiness program. So like, don't give your power away, don't take things personally. All of this is in my 30-day happiness program. And if you would rather work on whatever that you're going through and you feel like you need help and guidance and mentorship and emotional support and tools to practice and somebody to help you through all of that, I am now opening up one-on-one coaching. So if you are looking for a one-on-one guidance and coach to help you develop the skills to go through whatever challenge it is that you're going through, whether it's in your relationship with your partner, or whether there's a lot of unresolved hurts and feelings with your family, or whether it's your struggles with stress and anxiety at work, or whether it's how you feel about yourself and your mental and emotional health, or how you want to build confidence and be happy, and generally just developing all the skills to be able to communicate, to be able to understand yourself better, to be able to understand and identify your own triggers so that you can recognize your triggers when they happen and you can decide what to do instead of react upon them. And when you do all that, your relationships will improve and grow by leaps and bounds, and your life will be elevated, your quality of life. So to be able to live an enjoyable life day by day requires skills, because happiness is a lack of suffering, which means we want to live with peace, which means we have to develop the ability and the muscle and the skills to be able to overcome whatever challenges that we're going through, because we are human. We are going to experience difficulties in life. And so if you feel like you want me to help you with that, you can send me an email. I'll write the email in the comments later and it'll be at the top comment. But my email address is xandria@xandriaweight.com. You can send me an email and I'll send you the link to apply. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions as well. You can send me a direct message as well about this. So Maria here says, I joined your happiness program in 2018, Xandria, but was not able to complete it. I want to join your one-on-one coaching, please. Yeah, I can help you finish the program and also help you identify which parts that you find that you are sort of like not be able to move forward in. But more importantly, it's not about finishing the program. It's not, like exercise programs, you want to complete it. But my happiness program isn't one where you need to like, oh my God, I need to finish it. I think what's more important is how are you applying the practices in the program, and why and which practice are you struggling the most with in which situation. So is it with your relationship? Is it with your children? Is it with your parents? Is it with your work colleagues? Is it with strangers? Is it with yourself? What is causing the unease and the stress and the unhappiness? What is it that you need help working through? So the one-on-one coaching will be going into that. So it's not so much like the urgency of finishing the program, because all the tools in the program is not something that you should just do because it's good for you. I think everything in the program, the tools, and even in my book, it's not something that you should just do because I say so. It's because when you understand how the tool or the practice helps you, then you will know how to apply it in that challenging situation. So for example, like, don't take things personally. Oh, it sounds so easy. Yeah, just don't take things personally. Chill out, bro. Be positive. You know, like, it's not like that, right? Like, oh, if only we can just be positive, just let go, just be happy. To be able to do all of that, I think it's a process, and it requires us to be able to work through what we're currently struggling with, and it then leads us to be able to let go. Letting go is like step 6, you know, that's step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 before that. And it requires a lot of self-awareness, a lot of identifying our triggers, it requires a lot of understanding of oneself, recognizing and acknowledging when our ego is actually in play, and even understanding what our ego is. And everybody has a different need and different fear, right? And so we need to be able to work on all of that. Yeah. So anyway, if you want one-on-one coaching, send me an email, Xandria@xandria.com, or send me a direct message. I'll send you the email address. Diana here says, the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. I like that, because I feel like the more we contribute, the more we are giving, the more we understand that life is not about taking, you know, that happiness is not about taking. The happiness is about flowing, and when we flow, we give naturally. It's not trying to give. I think we would feel like we want to when we understand that we all, like, each and every single one of us human being, we are not different from each other. We may look different, we may grow up differently, we may think differently, but you know, if I cut you, you bleed. If you cut me, I bleed. If we cut ourselves, we both bleed. You know, I live, you live, I die, you die. Like, everybody lives and dies, you know? So how are we so different? The hurt that we feel, the anxiety and the stress, and the sometimes hopelessness and desperation or depression, I mean, it's experienced by human beings, you know? It's not exclusive to one single race or one single culture. You know, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm sitting here in Malaysia right now. It's 9:40 at night, and wherever you are watching from, it's probably a different country, a different time zone even, you know? And it may seem like we're very different, but we're not, right? I don't think that people will take advantage of us when we are giving. I think we need to develop the skills to be able to say no, and to be able to examine circumstances, and to be able to make the best decisions for everybody involved. So I think that people take advantage of us when we ourselves don't develop the skills to look at things objectively. People take advantage of us when we ourselves are not able to learn from our experiences and use those experiences to make more informed decisions in the future. People take advantage of us when our ego is in the way, you know, like, that's why con men can find it very easy to con people who are greedy. So I think when our ego is in the way, it's also very easy for people to take advantage of us. I think when we don't know how to say no, and we insist on feeling like a victim, like, oh, you know, the person keep asking me for things, you know, like, so terrible. Like, if we have that kind of mindset, then obviously it's easy for people to take advantage of us. So why don't we just learn how to say, oh no, I'm not comfortable with that. Oh no, thank you. Oh no, I can't do that. You know, like, just learn how to say no. Maria, he says 7 a.m., 7:43 a.m. in Canada. Oh my God, you're watching this so early. You wake up so early just to watch the live chat. 5:40 Cecile in Oman. Linda here says her book is very worth to have it. Oh, I'm so glad. Became my lifesaver. Whenever I am down, angry, or confused about life, I will reread her book again and again and again and again. Always helps to remind me and clear our minds again. I am so glad to know that you resonate so deeply with the book, Linda. You know what? If you haven't written a review on Amazon, or even if you don't want to write a review on Amazon, you can just send me your thoughts on what the book is, or you can write a review on Amazon. It'll be like super amazing to be able to read your review, And if, let's say, you don't want to write a review on Amazon, no worry, just send me what you think about the book. Like, just send me a message, right? That would be great. Haru, he says, life is a flow. I love that. Maybe Yuri and I will talk about this tomorrow, because we just had a recent conversation. We went to bed at like midnight and we were already so tired, but somehow Yuri and I, we got inspired to talk about like life and stuff. And suddenly we start talking about flow and what it means, and that was when I also started thinking a lot about like what it means for me and my life, and maybe we'll share with you guys tomorrow. So if you want to tune in for the flow conversation, it will be tomorrow. My mom says most of our stress comes from the way we respond, not the way life is. Susan Ho is my mom. All we need to do is adjust our mindset and attitude. Life, like, I was saying last week that water flows, like life flows. And all our challenges and problems, they're not the obstacles in our life. Just like how the rocks in the river, they're not obstacles to the water. It's just part of the river. So our challenges in life is just part of life. What becomes obstacles is the way we respond to those challenges. It's our anxiety, our stress, our anger, our frustration, our lack of skill in being able to communicate and solve problems. Those becomes obstacles. And so when we change our mindset and attitude, it really means changing the perspective of what we determine is a problem. And can clearly see that is not the problem. The problem is that I need to take responsibility for my own happiness, and I need to develop the skills to be able to approach a situation and address that in a way that is helpful and productive and positive. Jenny here asks, how to control our mindset when in a negative situation? The short answer is you don't control your mindset. You understand yourself. And when you understand yourself and you understand your objectives, then you yourself don't even want to be in the negative mindset anymore. You will know what to do. Jenny, read my book. This is perfect for you if you're asking this question. From chapter 1 to chapter 5, you will have your answer, and you will have the practices of what to do to turn a negative mindset around or negative situation around. Nabila, 11 p.m. in Australia. Mars, sending love to you too. Roscoe, 7:44 in New Mexico, USA. So early, you guys. How do you help someone who always takes your words as negative attitude? You cannot control what other people think of you and your attitude. So if they insist on seeing your attitude as negative, there's nothing you can do about it, but find acceptance to be able to accept the person if you care about the person. Whether sometimes people are not very skilled in their happiness and they project their unhappiness out, and if you love this person, just learn to accept the person. And also at the same time, to be able to reflect upon yourself and see if there are any truths into what they are saying. So the work is understanding whether you are defensive and looking at what your triggers are and what you are sensitive about, and seeing how you yourself can change and grow from that. Yeah. Oh, Jeep, such a nice comment. Thank you so much. Jenny, great. I really wish to be happy always. You can. Honestly, when you read my book, you can see that I didn't always know how to be happy always, because happiness is overcoming life's challenges and living each day with joy. I knew like how to feel happy, but I didn't really know how to overcome my challenges, especially in like relationships. And so I didn't know. Right? I didn't even know I was suffering. I just felt like I want to be angry and I should be angry, right? I didn't even recognize that as suffering. I didn't even see that as negative or whatever it was. And so I didn't know. And so when you read my book, you will realize that everything in there, if I can learn these things and if I can start to change my life because of certain skill sets that I developed and built, then it means that you can as well. I am not more special than any one of you. I think that I love and I've always loved the human psychology and human behavior and behavioral economics, and I'm eternally curious about human behavior and our nature and what drives us to do the things that we do. I love human beings. You know, I genuinely and truly believe that it is such a gift to be human. And I just want to be able to live my best life in the sense that I can not have so much anxiety and stress and impatience. I don't want to give my life away, you know? So because I really resonate with that on a very deep level, I try very hard to identify and understand people. And to be able to do that, you know, it begins with myself. I need to be curious about myself in order to be curious about other people. All the videos that you watch, if they resonate with you, I'm not making them to teach you something. I'm actually making them as a practice and journey and reminders for myself, because every video I make, I have to think about the whys and human behavior, and why do we do certain things, and is that productive, is that helpful, is that positive, and if not, how do we change it? You know, life is about a series of figuring things out and building plans and strategies to be able to change what we don't like about our life. It's possible. It's like at work, you know, if you do a project and you hit a stumbling block, you will plan, you will strategize, right, to work around it. You know, you will work at overcoming the problem at work. And so with life, it's the same thing. We just need to develop the skills. So to get the book, you just click on the link in the caption. You can get it at Book Depository or Amazon. It's everywhere. As in, not everywhere, as in like the link is everywhere. Maria here says, I plan to buy more because your book helps me a lot. I'm so glad. And help me be aware of what is happening in my life. Life is constant learning, and I know I still have so much more to learn. Yeah, you know, I think we all have a lot to learn. And when I learn more, I'll write another book, you know, and share that with you. 450 in Israel. Oh my God, I'm so happy that you guys are like from all over the world. And isn't it like magic that we can connect in this way, that we are so far away but yet so connected? It's insane. If that's not magic, what is it? I mean, if you ask like people 50 years ago, they would say this is impossible. They would say this is rubbish. Like, why are you saying like impossible things, you know? But the fact that we have this right now, I mean, how amazing. Let's see. Cindy here says, I tend to take people's comments to heart. I do on and off come across your short videos, find it inspiring. First time FB Live. I'm glad you can join the FB Live chat for the first time. In fact, I'm going to be shooting a video. And so either this Friday or this Sunday, it'll be out on YouTube and on Facebook about negative comments and how to not be affected by people's comments. And you can actually already go to my YouTube channel and search for not taking things personally, criticisms, you know, videos like that. I've made a lot of videos like that, but I'm going to make another one for either Friday or Sunday. So keep an eye out for that. Roscoe, I'm glad you love this. 100% magic, right? Yeah. Blessed night from Lenny. Like what you said in your book, happiness has always been and will always be our responsibility, and I hang on to that. Oh, that's so amazing. So amidst this pandemic and with the passing of people close to my heart without seeing them, painful it may be, but I embrace the thoughts that we just have to let go of happenings when we don't have control over them. God bless you for enlightening us. From Korea with love, Lenny. Lenny, this is one of the most beautiful, beautiful messages. And I just want to express how sorry I am that in this pandemic you are experiencing people you care about passing away and you not being able to be with them. And I think that as a human being, it's a very, very hard thing to go through and experience. And any kind of peace that you can find with it, you know, with accepting it, and, you know, trusting the universe in a sense, and to be able to let go of what you have no control over, whilst at the same time acknowledging that it is still very human to miss them or mourn them or grieve for them, which is part and parcel too of being human, you know. And yeah, I guess I just want to send you a lot of love and support from Malaysia. Yeah, everybody send Lenny a lot of love. Yeah. So, okay, I think I'm going to head off now. Yuri and I will be here tomorrow, and we'll talk about what it means to flow with life and to live a purposeful life, and to also understand ourselves better and what is actually important to us, and how to live our purpose. And it's very different from, oh, what should I be? I don't know if my life has meaning, you know. Like, it's not that kind of questions. It really is about like, okay, in this moment, what is it that I can do to empower myself, or what is it that I can do to find joy, and what is it that I can do to really live a purposeful life, where even if I die tomorrow or the next week, I am okay with that. Like, I will be contented, you know, like I have lived. And I think that that's probably what a lot of us want as well, to live life to really live life, you know, and to live life with compassion and kindness and zest and and like enthusiasm and love, so that when our time comes, we're okay, you know, we feel like, yeah. Okay, anyway, thank you so much for watching, sending you a lot of love, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Be happy always. Bye.